How you doing, guys? Man, I'm excited to be where I'm at right now. I'm at Original Barbershop. This is my barbershop. This is the Shareholders podcast. As you can see, Monty Mont here now. That's my professional name. The gentleman I'm with right now been knowing me long enough that you probably won't hear that no more. You're going to hear a lot of E. Because they've been knowing me for over a decade, which is unbelievable. Over a decade. And I'm really excited to be here. I've got three entrepreneurs with me today. I have Mr. Carl Littles. Carl, how you doing, sir?
How you doing, man?
Good. Of course, then my nemesis, Mr. Mr. Devion Bingham. How you doing, sir?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good. And of course, my man that I first met when I came to this shop, Mr. Antonio Spurlock. How you doing, sir?
Doing great, man. Pleasure to be with you, brother.
All right. Those are the Christian names. You probably be using nicknames after that. That's how we just do it. But anyway, I'm very excited. You people, if you understand, we talked on the first show. We talked with Will, and I talked about a concept of how professions change and how, back in the day, a lot of people rode horses and a lot of people got around on horses. So if you was in the business of making saddles or horseshoes and all that, you was doing good for your family. You was making good money and things like that. But at some point, the landscape changed in terms of commerce and people started driving cars. So that kind of went down. But I'll tell you, there are a few professions that last the test of time, that no matter what, if we using horses or flying cars, and I looked up an article about it, and one of those is hairstylists or barbers, that regardless, and this goes back, people literally, I looked it up, they said the ancient Egyptians were cutting each other's hair, and people, they found little razors and things like that for styling and stuff. So no matter what we've done, brother still got to be looking sharp about it, you know what I mean? So I'm here with these three, and we got a lot to get into. We might actually do 2 segments, but I first want to start out with everybody around the room, and I want to know, when is it that each of you, because back in the day, y'all, we all knew, man, my cousin cut hair, he do a little something, come in the basement, he good, and you do, okay, but when did you all know that you were good enough to really, like, maybe do this as a career? When did that point happen for you, Carl?
Well, probably like in high school.
Yeah.
And then, you start cutting, of course, friends, family, and then they start calling you back to get another appointment, or can you squeeze me in again? So when I started realizing everybody was coming back to me, knocking on the door, calling me back to back, I said, you know what, I can really, I can make a couple dollars off this and make a little living off of it.
So you were in high school, so about like 15, 16 maybe?
About 16.
Tom?
Yeah, it was in high school. But actually, I got into it. I kind of fell into it. I had some cousins cutting hair, some older than me, so they was lightweight. I call them my uncles.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Mike Jones and Troy Jones. Troy Jones, I used to hang out with a lot in high school, and his daddy cut hair.
Okay.
I seen his pops take care of my family, do a lot of things. He looked well off.
Yeah.
I said, man, he inspired me, because school wasn't never really it for me. I didn't really want to do that. So that made me want to do it, and then started cutting hair, and Huggy, Davion, made me want to cut hair more, because he was cutting more in high school than I was.
Okay.
So Hug was cutting hair at his house, and he had a lineup. Like, more people was going to Hug than me. And, so it's like, damn, I want to cut some more hair. And man, I used to go to Hug house and borrow his clippers. And boy, I messed people heads up. I'm talking about, I give them the business, but high school is where it all started, and I grew there more, on and on and on, and now we're here now. So we've been cutting together.
So you guys, we're about to get into that
since
too.
High school.
Yeah, we about to.
It was crazy.
So,
I would say high school. High school and college, that's when I first, like I said, had the reoccurring clientele coming back.
Yeah.
It was cool. They thought that I would be a barber more than I thought I was going to be a barber. But, I still had NFL dreams. But
you football, right?
Barber? Nah. So, but, high school and college, that's when I knew.
So then let me ask you guys this. What, in terms of what you do, what really separates you guys, professionals, from amateurs? and you can go into even the process of it, or what really where, you know, man, why I gotta go to the barbershop, you know what I'm saying? Again, my cousin cut, you know, when I catch him on the weekend and stuff, but what really separates what it takes, I should say, to be a professional in terms of that instead of an amateur?
Well, it is based on the experience that you get when you come to the shop. That's what you're actually paying for. You're paying for the experience. If it's the conversation, if it's the relaxation. A lot of barbershops now are going into men grooming lounges or more of a hot towel. You start to see more hot towels compared to a couple of years ago when, you know, wasn't too many people laying back with hot towels on.
Yeah.
So now, for us, of course, it's safety and sanitation, right? Of course, in patient protection because you're dealing with, you know, the community or whatever. But it's definitely the experience. That's what separates us from it. You know, you can feel it when you get a haircut. The experience on the barber's hands.
Yeah.
You know how he's moving your hair around, how he's cutting your hair, the soft touch he's putting on it, using that razor, making it feel a relief for you. So that's how it separates us. An amateur ain't gonna give you that.
Yeah. All right. So, anybody else with thoughts on professionalism, amateurism, and the difference?
I think it's big time. Stroll off of what my man said with the experience and the years that go into it. I think we would all agree that each year we get better as a barber.
Yeah.
I think it's a profession that never ends as far as learning and being able to do more. So, you know, the next year that you have into it, especially while we still have our youth and brain, you know, that we can still move and groove. Like each year we're gonna continue to get better, but man, shout out to the people that make these chairs, 'cause man, when we was cutting hair sitting on a stool and had to do, pass me that, bro. Let me show you the difference in something right quick, man, 'cause a lot of people don't understand what goes into this and the engineering.
Break it down.
It's engineering and everything. You know, you think you just go to school and you a barber and ain't no brains into this, man. It's engineering and barbering as well. Cause when I had to cut hair and tell a brother, do this,
Yep.
or do this, or turn around and all that,
That's the difference between
man,
amateur
this
and
chair goes up and down, side to side, lays back. It does all of that, man. So big shout out to the people that make these chairs, cause without these chairs, all that pulling and wear and tearing on your back and trying to get angles and the lighting that we have in the shop, it's unmatched, bro. You can't get that in no bathroom. So that's what you get in a barbershop compared to at the bathroom or the living room or the kitchen. You can't get all that, man. You can't get all them angles. You can't get that light. And lighting is the best thing that goes with barber. No lighting takes away from the cut. Lighting boosts it up right away.
That's an excellent point. Just a little TV trick as well. We didn't have to bring no lighting in here, and it looks great. A lot of times we venues and stuff, but the lighting is good, and you will want your barber to see what he's doing. I mean, that really makes good sense, and the chair as well. Like I remember when them basement cuts, and like okay, turn this way, do that, and you just sitting, and then you sit in a real chair. That's what I'm saying, man. You talk to professionals, you hear things from their perspective that people don't really think about. And it's funny because I had a friend of mine, he was like, man, he's like, you could do that stuff yourself, man. He's like, let me get you a straight razor. So he bought me a straight razor. I put the razor on my skin and blood started calling. I was like, man, okay. I was like, hold up, let me see. I'm thinking about, I was like, Tone do it, because Tone just chop, chop, chop. All right. I touched again, bleeding again. I was like, nope. I was like, bro, I don't know. I was like, that's why I need to go to somebody, because I'm not able to do how these brothers do.
Yeah, it's definitely an experience, with that.
So I want to talk about as well, and you kind of started to hit on it, Carl, in terms of the experience. I want you guys to really talk about the barbershop. You know, of course, Ice Cube's made some movies and depicted it and kind of talked about it as well, but in terms of that experience, I know for me, a lot of my coming up when I would go to the barbershop, I used to look forward to going to the barbershop when I was young, because you see people there from the community, the old guy in the back, they always make everybody laugh, the barbers all had their style and stuff like that. Just if you guys could talk about the community of a barbershop and what it means in the fabric of it.
It's the fabric in the community of the barbershop, of course, is a pillar to the community. We just love inspiring young kids, of course, you know, but we gotta lead by example as entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
So how we carry ourselves in the shop, showing that we can be business, we can be casual, we can also have debates. That's what barbershop culture is all about. That's what the big riff of being in the barbershop, that you can be in here and you can actually be behind a chair and watch TV and get to know, build relationships with the client in your chair.
Yeah.
Even with people that I don't even necessarily cut, I still build relationships with them.
Yeah.
You know, it's a family-ran business throughout America, period. They got a lot of corporate barbershops, but the ones that I see that strive is the ones that's dead center in the community.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because they're staples of the community. We're leading by example. So numerous things that you see barbershops do throughout the states. Backpack giveaways and backpack drives, free haircuts. They're giving back as much as they can to still keep that culture within this barbershop, within these four walls, you know?
I mean, when you think about it, like, Hug, just a rough estimate, like, how many people do you just think you know? Just from in terms of, just, even like you said, if not your clientele, just.
It's you can't go anywhere without knowing somebody connected to somebody. I might know them from like I said, I might see you out, but you tone client.
Right.
You know, and years and years of doing this and seeing people come, go, you accumulate a lot of people that you just tend to just cross faces with and know, or, you know, so you want to speak to them.
Yeah.
You know, they come into the shop all the time, so you want to speak to them, let them know, you know, it's all love. So.
All right, through the magic of television, you might see these mics now in front of us. Don't worry about that. Don't ask them any questions. We still keeping it going. We was having a good conversation about just the community. We got some maybe some bonus footage I'll show at some point from a great conversation we just had. But I still want to pick up where we left off in terms of the role of the barbershop in the community. And feel free, whoever wants to kind of jump in on that as well.
I feel like we impact the culture. You know, just from young to old, you know, they always want to try. It's always new hairstyles out there.
Yeah.
It's always new video. They come to you the next day, make my hair look like that. And so it keeps us on that game. We got to continue to, you know, recreate a new style that wasn't in 10 years, 5 years ago. Yeah. You know, so and just the positive, just even with the young sweepers that you see coming around here, you know, in high school, it's just doing something good for them. Yeah. You know, shout outs to Carl for that, like giving them an opportunity. And a couple of them even went on to go to barber school, right? You know, to make something of themselves, because they see us doing something positive, family man, and, you know, it's impactful.
And all of you guys are licensed barbers, so what makes you want to take that extra step? Like, you could just be cutting, you know, but what made it where, no, I want to really get official, get a plaque, get something with my name on it? Like, what made you want to do that?
You know, at the time, it wasn't necessarily a dream of mine to have no shop or even brand. You know, it kind of like grew on me as, honestly, more and more as you be around the barber culture, you start conquering. My first goal was just to be a barber. Yeah. You know, then my next goal was just to get some clientele and be booked up and have a lot of people waiting on me. And then eventually, I'm like, wow, this is nice. I want to manage the shop. You know, how is it to keep it structured, look at the business aspect of it? Yeah. Then it grew a little further. You know what? Let's take a leap of faith and open up a shop. And as long as we have our clients, I think we should be fine, you know. So it starts to grow on you. I know everybody's different because, of course, success lies within, you know. So everybody's success is different. Yeah. So me as a barber, I was just thinking, you know what? I'm happy with my clientele. Let's see if we can open up a shop. And that's how it started growing from there. And I'd give anybody the words of advice of just always set small goals, tackle those down, and then recreate some more, you know, because life is so short, you know.
You're hitting on something I really want to get into as well in a second, just in terms of how you guys branched out for your shop. But Hug, you said something as well. It used to be, I remember as a kid, I know young people, if you're watching this, you know, y'all got the internet and y'all used to everything just right there. But for me, I didn't know the styles till I went to the barbershop. I ain't really know what cats is doing. You know, we used to come, I ain't even had cable, so I couldn't really watch MTV to see, you know, LL Cool J and stuff. So I would go to the barbershop and you look on that, you know what I'm saying, that wall with all the cuts, be like, let me get the number 8, put 2 parts, give me a tail on the back. You know, we just making up stuff. Now, of course, everything is a lot easier, but culture was centered in a barbershop. And I don't want to turn this into a racial thing, but I know for me, especially as a young black man, seeing black men in authority in places in the old barbershop I used to go to in Michigan, you know, them guys were older guys, and, you know, they ain't play nothing. You couldn't come in any kind of way at their shop, just talking reckless and all that. And some people know that story. That's the first time I ever saw a gun.
Oh yeah.
One of them old barbers was like, all right. He pulled out. I was just like, oh, okay, yeah. But it was a respect that, you know, barbers have and still do have. I mean, because like I say, everybody comes in, they respect you guys, and that's the first thing I noticed when I came to this shop. Is just like, man, people really, you know, as much craziness Hug be talking, they still be actually letting him adapt him.
Yeah. I mean, the barbers touch the people.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it for years. They've been doing it for years. I'll never forget, I was, my first, like, where am I going to go get my haircut at? A good friend of mine, still to this day, Sean Johnson, came to practice, and he had a shag with a fade. And I wasn't paying too much time, like paying too much attention to, like, how I had my haircut, you know, for 3rd, 4th grade. I didn't pay no mind to it. But when he came with that fade on the side, and he had the shag going across the back, and it was faded, it was crispy, and I'm like, where did they do that?
Yeah.
Where did you get that done? You know what I'm saying? How did you, I want that. Like, I don't get that. Like, that was the first style that I seen, you know. And he's like, I go to Hair Unlimited.
Yeah.
Boom, word of mouth.
Word of mouth. And that's what the kids are doing now. We give these kids mohawks, burst fades, right? What's in now, and we dye the tips, and then they get out of here and they go to school. That you'll see a mom come in here and say, "We heard about you, my son, friend. They in the 6th grade with each other. Can you give us this haircut?"
Yeah.
You know, so.
And you know what's crazy? That's literally how I found y'all. When I first moved here, you know, I don't know nobody, I don't know nothing. I signed up for the gym, started going to LVAC, and there was a dude, he had a really nice, I said, my man. I was like, who cutting you up? And he was like, well, at the time, he's like, go to Masterpiece. And I think, shout out to Mo, I think he said Mo at the time. So when I went in the shop, I remember, you know, y'all used to have the names over it, and Mo had somebody, and Tone was just chilling, so I said, okay, well, whoever, man, let me just get, I was in the hood, and that's how I met Tone, but it was word of mouth, and that's amazing how it still is like that. I want to ask you, before we get into the other business aspect, just for the economy, because with prices and things like that, you know, ask you, Tone, do you guys really feel like if it's, you know, good economy and folks seem like they're doing good, is more people in the shop? Is it less people in the shop, or has it always kind of been a constant with you guys to where no matter what, you know, we call it recession, whatever, things like that, it's kind of a constant thing for the economy of the shop?
I feel like we definitely feel the economy. We definitely understand the economy, and that's when we may get to doing more specials and discounts and stuff like that. But I would also say that this is a pretty successful business to withstand the repression or anything that's going on in the economy, because whether you have a job or not, you want to stay clean for your job. And outside of that, if you don't have a job, you're going to hustle up some money to get a haircut so you could go to an interview to receive a job. So it's one of those things to where it may slow down, but it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Whether it's booming or it's glooming, it's going to keep on going in some sort of way, because, you know, you're going to stay clean or you're going to need to get clean. And we here regardless. So, you know, we here for you.
That's good. I like that.
I got my license in the recession,
Really?
2008. So that was the most money I've ever made in my life during the recession time. So,
Wow.
and you would hear a lot of people say barbering is a recession-proof business, and you know, I wouldn't go that far, but you can still be steady. I feel.
Yeah.
Like I said, between work, interview, and women, you're gonna keep your hair cut.
Brother, yeah. I mean, that's real.
You're
That's
gonna
true.
keep your
That's a
hair
good
cut.
point. So then I want to transition now, and Carl, you started to hit on it. So for those that don't know, this is Original Barbershop. That's how many years it's been here? Is 4 or 5 years. And I spoke before that when I first came to Vegas, I met these guys at another barbershop called Masterpiece. So, and in my first episode, we talked with Will, and he talked about how he had to really step on faith to start his Amazon business. And he had a pretty good job. He was doing all right. And he just was like, man, that's what I want to do. And I mean, we don't call it faith because it's easy. It's faith because it's hard. And it's, you know, you don't always know what's going to happen. So speak to really the faith it took for you to really like, and I know some people just think, I remember y'all was like, man, we start a new shop. I was like, bet. And I don't know all that went into that. I was just like, where's it going to be at? And he told me. But the faith it took to really say like, okay, I'm going to do this. Who coming with me? Will the clients come? All of that stuff.
Shout out to Masterpiece because they definitely have gave us so many lessons and tools growing as a barber, and of course as a shop owner. You know, the faith was with us.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't did nothing without my brothers.
Yeah.
You know, if I knew once they had my back, I'll do anything. That's just bottom line. When it comes to doing any type of footwork, dirty work, I know if these two dudes is behind me, I'll go first for anything.
Yeah.
You know, so that's if you don't have a strong team, you can't do nothing by yourself.
That's well said.
You know, nothing by yourself. So that faith came with just having the support of friends, and then of course my family.
Yeah.
My wife is, you know, that's my heart right there. So, but besides, I mean, that's what you have to. If I'm gonna give any advice to anybody that's gonna open up a shop, that's trying to open up a shop,
Right.
just have the support of your friends and family. You can do anything. Like when your parents used to tell you that, like that is for real.
Yeah.
Like whatever you put your mind to, you
That's-
really can do it. And we kind of like overlook those words, man.
But it rings
But
true.
it's true. Like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. How am I gonna do it? I'm gonna prioritize this. I'm gonna organize everything I need to do to achieve this goal. And that's why I say I always put little small goals in front of me, and I have fun doing it, life. You know, so that's the faith and the leap of faith that we took together.
So then, Tone, Hug, I don't know how if you present it to you or whatever, but when you kind of got wind, like, man, we can really do this, was your instinct immediately like, yo, let's go? Or was it like, you know, what's the logistics of this? Or
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like when we were at Masterpiece, we had some success there. I would say it was initially it was like, are you sure?
yeah,
But at the end of the day, it's like these are my brothers. So if one goes, like we're all gonna go. You know what I'm saying? That's how I looked at it.
yeah,
You know, so it was a no-brainer.
yeah.
And it was the best decision that you know,
Absolutely.
we made, for
Yeah.
sure.
Absolutely. I mean, we was just in the same pot
Yeah.
forever, brewing it up forever. So, if any of us would have made a move, it was time to make a move.
Yeah.
Like it was like the Migos. Like we couldn't break up the group. We couldn't break up the unit. If one of us was doing anything, we was gonna stand behind our brother, and it was on. So it was
I like
just we expanding, we moving, we grooving, and if this the route we going and this the route we taking, then we behind it. Let's go.
Yeah.
It didn't matter, and no disrespect or tarnish to where we came from. We did it big over there when we was over there, but that was somebody that wasn't with us planting the seeds. Now it was time for one of us to plant the seeds, and we was homegrown with each other from jump. So
Yeah.
when it was time for us to plant that seed and move, we was moving in an orderly fashion. It was time to go. We got behind our brother and we moved with him, and we grew this, and now we doing this. So,
and that's what you know. I hear it said. You know, you're not gonna grow in a comfort zone, and you know, y'all all could have had an excuse of, I mean, y'all all family men, y'all got kids. You know what I mean? You know, I'm good. I don't want to really rock the boat, but as my friend Will said before, you know, it kind of you just feel it at some point to where I gotta just, you know, break out. You know, the caterpillar goes in the cocoon, and at some point they break out and it's a butterfly, which is amazing. So kind of want to just kind of start to wrap up a little bit, and you spoke to it a little bit, but if you're a young person watching this, man, you know, I'm sure y'all hear guys, man, how y'all do this, man? What was the first thing you would tell a young guy coming up, man? I'm a barber, stuff like that. How can I do what y'all doing? How can I get on, man? Y'all got all these people, man, you making money. What would be your advice to like a young person, man or woman, starting out in the game?
Stay behind that chair.
Yeah.
You tired, you sleepy, you feel like it's slow, you ain't eating, you see the person next to you cutting hair, stay behind that chair. Don't move. When it's slow, when you ain't eating, when the person next to you cutting, stay behind that chair. When you tired, stay behind that chair. Don't move from behind this chair.
Let me say so real quick. One of the main reasons I rock with Tone is because he be there. I mean, he's a great, anytime Tone line me up, my mama be always like, woo, he good. When I try to do it myself, she don't say nothing. So anyway, mama. But he's there. Like, and I can say that for all of y'all, for me, the consistency speaks as a client. That means a lot, man. Like, there's one time, Tone, where I got there, I had a 9 o'clock and I didn't see him. I was like, I'll be my man here. Okay, cool. And then around 9:15, Tone come in, I'm looking. And he looked at me, and I was like, it's first time in 10 years. And then he looked at his phone, he's like, you know, you tomorrow. I said, man. I was like, I thought for once I'll be here, but you know, but again, I'm cutting in. Go ahead and expound if you go ahead. It's just for if you was giving advice.
Go ahead, see.
If I would give any young individual, man, kid, young lady, it would be the process is way better than the prize.
Ooh.
You know, so enjoy growing, enjoy having the ups and downs and the struggles, because that feels a lot better in my eyes.
Yeah.
You know, enjoy that, like building your clientele up, passing the cards out, and sitting down and watching the barber across from you cutting all day, and you're not.
Yeah.
So you can, because when you're booked, it's no getting unbooked.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's no getting unbooked. You booked.
Yeah. No.
That's it.
You know, unbooked.
Yeah. So just enjoy all of that. You know. So that's what I would give to.
I would say, man, set some goals out. Man, have some standards that you set for yourself. Visualize your future, and save some money. Start saving at a young age. Just save some money. A little bit. It goes a long way. So.
Okay, so then my last question here at Original Barbershop, man. This is my barbershop. I've enjoyed this time. I'm very grateful that they opening up. I mean, we here at the shop. It's outstanding. But I would then say, where do you want this? Like, how far do you want to go with this? Like, and I know I've seen you, Carl, kind of, you know, you go some places, you travel a little bit, you know, at some expos and speaking and things, you know, you kind of, you know, doing that. How far do you want to go in this career? Is it something else you may be looking toward? Is it something else like, I know you guys could cut for the rest of your lives, you know what I mean? You're gifted to do that, but is there anything else maybe that, you know?
I see that, I mean, the sky's the limit for us growing this brand. We've created the Original lifestyle. We're opening up Original Barbershop 2.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna open up an Original Barbershop 3. Hugs open up 3. Tones open up 2.
Wow.
We're gonna do a school. Hopefully we can get out the city a little bit. Go global. I mean, honestly, the sky is the limit for us. We just enjoy just branding ourselves and just spreading our experiences in this barber culture.
Yeah.
So we're going all the way.
Nice.
Yeah, we're
nice.
going all the way.
Huh?
Just like you said, man, expanding in every way that we can. From, like I said, just our brand, just the shop, clientele, just expanding and to our fullest potential. And I say that'll be it, really.
Yeah. Tone, any last?
We just getting started.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot coming. It's a big, bright, successful, blessed future coming, and me and my brothers are growing, and I feel like if you think we doing something now, we just started crawling.
I like that.
We ain't started walking yet. We ain't started jogging yet. We ain't started running yet. It's a marathon.
Nice.
And it's gonna continue, and we blossoming beautifully.
Man, that sums it up very nicely, man. This is the Shareholders Podcast. It's old Monty Mott here. I'm really just privileged to bring these three entrepreneurs before you guys, and you're seeing a side of them that hopefully will translate for bigger and better things, because they're not, I mean, I've known them a long time. These are good guys. But you see now the business sense in them, and I'm really, really excited that last part, the barbershops expanding, and hopefully for just not barbers, but for anybody, they all kind of talked about the time you got to put in. Whatever you want to do, if you want to be a musician, if you want to be a barber, if you want to be a scientist, anybody that's achieved some success will tell you, put that time in. There's no overnight successes with this thing, and you don't just look at somebody at the top and be like, man, okay, well, I'm going to do it's that person at the top will tell you it took a long, hard way to do that. So if that's your craft, if you're a young barber, hairstylist, whatever, or whatever you want to do, stay consistent with it and keep them going with that. So I want to thank you guys today, man. This is
Thank you.
invaluable.
Absolutely. Thank you, E.
It's especially for some of us being here amidst the circumstances of what's happened today. We're not going to get into that. There's been some joy on some sides and some sadness, but we that's what the shop is for. But man, shout out. We'll be back. Shareholders Podcast. Please catch us. Oh, I'm sorry. Please give your plugs as well, man. If there's any social media and all of that stuff you want to get in, people can find you. If you're looking for a barber, please get y'all plugs in real quick.
Yeah, you can definitely follow the original Barbershop LV. You also can follow Carl Little's the barber instructor. You also can follow _original clothing.
Yeah, all that's right. You got that.
Yeah. So
We're doing all of this, man.
yeah, and you can follow Carl Little's the barber. So
Yeah.
IG account Faded by Hug, all one word. Yeah, that's pretty much it right there.
Yeah. Tone.
You can follow me at Antonio _cut_it, and that's ways for you to tap into what we're doing here. That's ways for you to tap into booking information. Way for you to get in touch and lock in.
Appreciate it. Oh man, I meant to bring it up and I forgot. The Booksy, man. I'm sure that's helped you guys out very much in terms
It's a
of.
game changer.
If you're not familiar, Booksy is an app now, and that's all I use, is where you check your barber, check his times, make your appointment there. It's no more walking in. Man, he 4 down, he 5 deep. I don't know. I'm sure all hairstylists use it now and stuff. I seen they updated it too now, where the deposit, so ain't no canceling. But that's a way the technology has helped as well. So shout out to that.
Yeah, that's a man.
It definitely helped us grow as a barber.
Yeah.
For sure.
Books ain't no joke.
It ain't. We got introduced to that, and we haven't turned back
Ain't
around.
look back. Yeah.
They take $25 a month.
Yeah.
I think I would. I don't want to. Don't put this on there, but I would pay $50 for them to do what they do for us. I started looking around for some other softwares if they went over 50.
Yeah.
But I said, man, it's 25. I'll pay 50.
That's one of them things. It's like, man, why I ain't thinking something like that? I could have made that app, been rich
Every
man,
month.
it's golly.
I said, make sure that Booksy came out that account.
Yes.
Check that.
That's real. That's real. So again, check us out. Of course, Shareholders Podcast. We're on iTunes, Spotify as well. Monty Mike, check me. I'm on Instagram. Everything you need, and the website, Mighty Sharp Show. We are bringing you more content. This is going to probably be the last one of the year. You'll see this one. 2020, man, God's blessing. We're looking for some big things. I look to have these guys back. You know, we might do another one at the individual shops. You never know then, but it's been a pleasure. Thank you, gentlemen. As always, stay sharp.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Outstanding.